Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. So today we are going to continue our Mr. Incredible model, and if you follow my previous videos, you would remember that so far we have done the retopology of things like the head and like so, and the eyelids, the eyes, the boot, and the hand. And basically we're almost done with the model. Now what's left to do is the body, which includes the belt and the mask, which is there. So to do these, instead of doing them manually like I did with the other parts, the head and etc., I will use a tool that is available in ZBrush called ZRemesher. What ZRemesher does, basically will go through this mesh and it will try to generate automatically a quad topology, a clean quad topology based on some settings that we are going to experiment with. So let's get started. So first off, I'm going to duplicate my body. So duplicate, and I'm gonna work on this duplicated body here. So I'm gonna uncheck everything else. So that's just my object, and I'm also going to uncheck this the poly paint, because I don't actually need to see it at the moment. But what I want to see is the poly group of my mesh like this. And the reason why I want to have the poly group active is because I will use the poly group that I created before to tell ZRemesher to where I want certain cuts for this part here. But we will get that into that in a second. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to geometry and scroll down to ZRemesher, and I open ZRemesher tab. Now I still have my symmetry active, as you can see, and ZRemesher will actually work with symmetry. So if I have symmetry active, the generation of the topology will be symmetrical, which is what I want. So the first thing I can try is it's just to click this button here, keep groups, and what this will do, it will look at these polygroups. In this case I have two polygroups, the pink one and the blue one. And let me change the material preview to something like this, and it will look at these polygroups, and when it will generate the new topology, it will try as best as it can to keep the same position of these polygroups, and it will also cut the geometry alongside these lines here, which is what I want. So for now, let's see what we can get with the default settings. So I'm just gonna click on ZRemesher and let's see what happened. So as you can see from the taskbar on the top, there's this orange line. So ZRemesher is actually going through and analyzing this mesh, and it's generating the new topology. Let's see what it gets. Okay, that's what we got with the default settings, which is not bad. As you can see, he did a pretty decent job in most of the area. I'm not super happy about these large polygons here, but that's probably fine. And overall he did a pretty nice job. As you can see, he's also following nicely this curvature here, which is pretty good. Now, if I visualize the lowest, let's go back and activate this guy back. What I want to do, I want to try and keep a number of polygons that it's similar to the one that I've done originally. So this one, maybe it's a little bit too low poly, so I'm gonna focus on this level here, and I want to try to get ZRemesher to retopologize my mesh, keeping this kind of the same kind of detail. Let's go down to this level. If you remember, I'm pressing Shift D on my keyboard to go up and down. So D will go up and Shift D will go down the subdivision levels. So let's go to this subdivision, which is pretty good. And let's see. So this is about the size. So I would say that this mesh here that ZRemesher has generated needs to be about half of the polygon. As you can see, this square, they're kind of like probably about half size, even this might a little bit bigger, but roughly half size of what I have there. So let's go back to our body and let's undo. I'm gonna Control Z and undo the ZRemesher, and now I'll do it again. So I still have keep groups, but I'm gonna change a couple of options. So first of all, I'm gonna change this adaptive size. So what adaptive size does, it's basically it looks at the target poly count, which is 5, which represent 5,000. This is in thousand. So the target polygon count is 5,000 polygons. However, with an adaptive size of 50, what we'll do basically, it will try to it will take a look at this 5,000 target polygons poly count, but since this is 50% adaptive size, it will also decide to add more polygon when he thinks we will get better result. So it's not gonna, with a 50 adaptive size, it's not gonna follow very strictly the target poly count. So if I go back, let's see, this was what he generated before. As you can see, 9,000 points means there are 18,000 polygons, so it's way above the 5,000 targets that I had here. So one thing I could do, I could click this button here that says half and then generate ZRemesher again. So let's try doing that. Let's see what it does. Okay, so now we have 4,000 points, 4,400 points, and actually this is pretty good. I have to say, this is actually pretty good already. Yeah, this is pretty much what I wanted. So just by halving the size of my existing ZRemesher geometry, that's what I got, which is pretty awesome. Maybe I can just because I'm picky, I'm just gonna go here and drop this guy there like so, and maybe do the same here, just for to have something a little bit more visually appealing in the flow of the polygons. But this is pretty damn good. So as you can see, ZRemesher did a pretty awesome job in creating a very clean topology. Now, some of you might, after seeing this, might ask why I didn't use this tool to generate the topology of the hand and the face and the feet. And the reason is because in the case of the body, these are just big forms that I have here. You see, they have major areas, very large shape, and ZRemesher tend to work very well in this kind of situation. However, for things like the face and the fingers, or situation where you need a little bit more of control, in the case of the face, we really wanted to follow the shape here. It doesn't do a pretty good job, to be honest. You can, so if I click here, you have this tool called ZRemesher Guides, and what this does, basically, I can show you. It generates, you can draw guides on the mesh like this that will tell the algorithm that generate the mesh where do you want the overall flow of your new topology. And again, this works okay in a situation like this, but I found that for something like a face, nothing really beats a job done manually. So, and it's always a good practice as well. So just to, you know, don't really want to forget how to do things manually. I mean, it's awesome to have these kind of helps from the technology, but you know, if you get used too much of doing things automatically, eventually you will become lazy and probably forget how things are done the old school. So we have this retopology here, which is pretty good. And now what I want to do is do the same that I've done last time. So I want to reproject all the details of my original body. So let's make sure that everything is hidden except my target body. Now I'm gonna go into solo mode, and again scroll down to geometry and click on crease and the crease button. This will crease all the borders of the mesh, so when I subdivide it, this will not shrink. And so now pressing Ctrl D, I will start subdividing my mesh like so. Let's see, that's good for now. And what I'm gonna do, I'm going to go to subtools. This is my target mesh and it's checked with the eye on. It's just hidden. And now from before doing this, I'm gonna go down to morph target and click store morph target. So if something bad happens, especially here in the on the edges, I can restore that area. And now I just go to subtools, project, and I'm gonna click project all. And again, since this the target mesh has polypaint applied, ZBrush is gonna ask me if I want to transfer this polypaint. I'm gonna say no for now. So now is doing is, as you can see from the orange bar at the top, is thinking about it, is projecting all the details from the original mesh to my new retopologized mesh. And let's see what we get. Okay, it looks like it hasn't changed much, but it actually did. You can see that if I go back and forth, as you can see that the mesh is slightly changing, and that's good, because it means that already the original mesh was pretty good, as you can see, like this. And let's see the borders. Nothing too bad happened, which is good. Okay. All right. And the body is done. Quick like that. As you can see, very nice. Maybe what I want to do here is adjust these guy. I'm just gonna very quickly, I'm gonna click on move topological, and I'm just gonna bring this up. So when I'm gonna do the poly paint, this is gonna be in place. It's gonna follow this curve nicely, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. That looks fine. Okay, so now next I'm gonna do the same thing. First of all, let me save. So save as, and this is gonna be Retopo 002. And next I'm gonna do the belt. The belt, I'm gonna do the same thing. So let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing for the belt. So I'm gonna duplicate this belt, and I'm gonna go to make sure that I have. Let's see. Let's select my object again. I want to have roughly the topology being roughly the same size of polygons as this one. So I'm gonna go to geometry. In this case, I only have one polygroup. If I uncheck this and go to here, as you can see, I only have one polygroup applied, which is fine. And now I'm just gonna go to geometry, modify topology. No, actually, sorry, ZRemesher. And so I don't need keep groups because I have only one. And so let's see what I'm gonna set the target polygon count to something like 1000 and see what we get with just these settings. So ZRemesher is going through analyzing this mesh. Let's see what we get. Okay, so it's still a little bit too many polygons for my taste, so I'm gonna click half and I'm gonna ZRemesh it again, and probably I'm gonna halve this as well, and maybe, yeah, well, let's see, if I click same and do it again, will it be cleaner? No, not really. I'm just want to make sure that this loop here follows nicely. And what I'm gonna do now, since I don't need the inside parts, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to click on ZModeler, and with ZModeler selected, as you can see, when I move my cursor over the faces, I get this overlay, and it might be a little bit difficult to see. Let's see if I zoom in. As you can see that when I move my mouse, there's a orange line that kind of indicate a direction. This is the direction of the polygons where I want like the loop. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna press spacebar to bring up the menu. There's a lot of things in here, but we're just gonna focus on what we need. So what we want to do now is to create a polygroup. So I'm going to select polygroup, and we want it, the polygroup, to be a polyloop like this. And so now, selecting either this direction or this direction, I'm just going to click, and as you can see, ZBrush generate this new polygroup like this, and I'm going to do the same here as well. So now I have these two polyloops going on, and that's pretty much that's it. That's what I wanted. So now I can, if I click here, I can hide the new polygroup, and then I can go down to polygroups and auto group. So this, since there's a hole in here, now these two object and this object will be separate. So as you can see, it separated the polygroup of this object and this object. So if I bring everything back, I can click this guy to isolate it, click on it again to invert the selection. And now if I click on this guy, by the way, I'm also holding Control Shift when I click, just so you don't forget. And now I can do group visible. So this is the only thing that I'm interested in. Or actually, you know what? I'm actually gonna delete this as well, because I don't really need that much space that goes inside. To be honest, I could also, let's see, I'm actually gonna even delete that one as well. So I'm gonna go to Z modeler, and I'm gonna do the same here, and then Control Shift and click to hide this guy. So this is the only part that it's left. And now basically I'm just going to geometry and modify topology, and I'm gonna click delete hidden. So all the polygons that are hidden right now, they're gonna be deleted, and that's it. So now I can go to crease and click crease. So as you can see, let me undo this so you can see it better. If you look at the border here, when I click crease, now there is this new dot line along the borders. It means that the borders are creased. And so now if I subdivide this object, I'm gonna click Ctrl D to subdivide this object until it's smooth like that. And now this is our new topology for the belt. Let me bring up the body, and I'm gonna click on the body as well, and by clicking D I can go up in levels. Now as you can see here, there's a little bit of misshaping going on, but I believe the reason is because the original object I haven't projected yet on the original object. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on my new topology, and then I'm gonna make sure that everything is hidden except the old belt object. And now again I'm gonna go and click project all, and again ZBrush is gonna ask me if I want to keep the poly data. I say no. And now let's see, okay, projected. Actually what I want to do in this case, I'm actually want to go down one level like this. I pressed Control Shift D, sorry, just Shift D to go down one level, or you can go here and move this bar down one level like that. And I'm gonna delete the highest, and then because I'm noticing there's a little bit of it's not very smooth here, so I'm gonna go to deformation, and I'm gonna click on smooth and drag this to 100, and then I'm gonna click repeat to active a bunch of time. As you can see, this, if you look at this area here, is getting much smoother like that. And now I can subdivide it one more, so it's nice and super smooth. and that's it. So let me bring back my body. I'm gonna hide this and unhide the body, and now I have a nicely shape. What's going on here? Let me see. I have a little bit of smoothness problems here. So, like I did before, this guy need to be brought a little bit like that, and that will be fine because this is gonna be the underwear. Basically, he's gonna have the underwear shape. So even if there is a little bit of sign going on here, it's actually good because this is gonna be kind of like it's gonna look like a little bit tighter on the butt cheeks, which is pretty good. And yeah, so that's it. The belt is done. And lastly, let me click on quick save. And last thing we're gonna do is the mask. So the mask is up here, and let me duplicate the mask, and I'm going to uncheck the alright, so the mask is gonna have to follow the head. It's identical to the head, so let's see. Let me try first using ZRemesher and see what we got from this. We might have to use the guides, but first let's see what we get. So I'm gonna go to geometry, and again click on ZRemesher. Again, this object only has one polygroup, so I don't need to keep the polygroup button active, and I'm gonna set this to 1 for now and see what we get. Alright, so it seems that one, it looks way too much, and for some reason looks like he's shrunk down the mask a little bit, which is not it's not really what I want. Why did he do that? That is bizarre. Oh, wait a second. Nope. Why am I looking at this? Let me see. Let me uncheck. Yeah, for some reason I pressed I activated by mistake the dynamic subdivision. So, but again, oh, okay. So now if I, yeah, okay, now it looks good. But it looks good, but the number of polygons here, it's a little bit too high. Let's see. If I bring back my Retopologize head and I scroll back to this level, let's see what we got. This is the kind of level of detail that I want, so definitely this mask here, it's way the poly count is way too high. So what I'm gonna do again, I'm gonna go to geometry and ZRemesher, and I'm gonna click halves and click ZRemesher again, see what we get. Still not enough. Let's doing it a bunch of times, and actually maybe I'm gonna keep this level even if it's not as low as the one that I have here, and the reason is because this mask, I want this mask to be very detailed and retain like the wrinkles that I've sculpted before. So I think I'm gonna keep this level of detail right there. So let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this level of detail for the mask, which is pretty it's pretty dense, but I like it. It keeps these shapes, this flow here, where I'm gonna have to reproject the details. So again, now I'm gonna go to I'm gonna uncheck everything except the original mask. Now I'm going to subdivide, so crease my object and subdivide it a bunch of times like so, and then I'm gonna go to morph target, store morph target, and now I can just project this guy, and I'm gonna set the projection to 0.01 and project all. Again, no, I don't need the poly paint, I'm just interested in the shape, and this is what I got. Okay, which is actually much lower resolution than what I was expecting. So again, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop this one level, delete higher, go to deformation, and I'm gonna smooth this guy a bunch of times. And also I think I'm gonna polish, I'm gonna use polish by feature and see how it looks, and repeat to active a bunch of times until this guy, maybe now smooth again. I want this guy to be as smooth as possible. Yeah, that's fairly smooth. And then I'm going to redraw the details like the wrinkles here later. So I'm gonna do this, smooth here a little bit, and that's pretty much done. So if I go back to, let's see, I'm going back like this, and let's see with my head, I'm gonna go high detail here, activate. Yeah, it looks pretty good. What I might want to do, let me go to my I'm gonna click the letter M on my keyboard to bring up all the brush that starts with the letter N. And now with morph, let's see, select the mask. I'm going to, let's see, so the original morph target was like that. So let's see what, oops, it seems like this object is still a Dynamesh, so let me uncheck that. And let's see, for some reason, let me, if I select this area like that, and then going back to morph target, if I use this, yeah, it cleans up. Now I can just smooth out this area here, which is good. I just wanted to have this border to look exactly like the original. So, alright, So this looks pretty good. Let's get out of solo mode. Oh, okay. Let's go to move topological, or actually just move, and let me bring this guy up slightly, something like that. All right. Actually, what I could do, I'm going to, yeah, let me undo everything I've done up to the projection, which was about, let's see, let's go down, that's where I projected the detail. Okay, here and here. What I'm gonna do, instead of projecting the mask, I'm gonna project the underneath head. So I have the mask selected, the head is visible, and I'm gonna click project all now. So ZBrush will project this mask directly on the head. Let's see, like that. And now I'm gonna go to deformation and click on inflate, maybe 1, and that's it. That's basically the same thing that I've done originally with my with the other mask. So this is cleaner, I think. It looks better. So here we have it. So now we have our full character that it's been completely retopologized. One last thing I want to do is adjust the color, the color of this mesh here, because if you remember from our reference images, as you can see, the color goes a little bit up, and so what I want to do here, I want to bring this guy up, and to do so I will do I'm going to use let's see, I could do this manually, or first of all, yeah, okay, what I'm gonna do, I'm going to isolate this polygroup here, and then I'm going to oops, I'm gonna go back to the lowest, or this resolution. I'm gonna hide these guys as well. Actually, I'm gonna do a lasso, which is easier. Something like that. I'm holding Control Shift Alt to draw the lasso, and now I will just do a rectangular selection like so for the mask. So when I bring the body back, looks like it did select something that I didn't want him to select. So let me see. Okay, let's try something different. So with these visible, I'm gonna go to polygroups and group visible, and now oops, and this one also seems that Dynamesh is still active, so I'm going to uncheck that. Now let me see if I can successfully, yeah, that's better. So I've successfully did a better mask. As you can see, the mask here is a little bit smooth. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to invert my mask, and with the move brush, let's see, I'm just gonna maybe I'm going to use the formation inflate. Let's see how it looks. So it's inflating, but I kind of want this top part to be more towards outside compared to this part here. So let's see how I can do that. Alright, I think so. I can't really get exactly what I want with the tools here in ZBrush. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna undo this real quick, like so. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to export real quick this OBJ mesh in Maya, and there I'm gonna modify it there, which is much easier and quicker to do. So let's do that. I'm going to export the lowest resolution, so click export, and I'm gonna go to Maya, and this is gonna be body Retopo. Okay. Oh, but I forgot to click and disable group, because otherwise when I export it in Maya, it's gonna be all subdivided, all split in a weird way. So let's do that. And now let's go to Maya and quickly adjust this guy. Okay, so now I'm in Maya and I've imported my body topology mesh as well as the head that I've done previously. So now basically what I want to do is just select this poly loop here, and I just want to bring it up a little bit like so, but also let's see, bring it up like that, but also what I want to do, I want to try and keep this loop here. As you can see, the distance between these two edges is much larger than the distance here, and previously I wanted to, but actually I'm thinking maybe it's gonna be fine. It's just probably the angle that it's a bit different, but that's probably fine. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna expand this guy a little bit, not too much, just a little bit, maybe like so. And another thing I want to do, I want to extend the head geometry. So to do that, I'm gonna select this poly loop here, and I'm gonna click extrude, and basically now I can extrude these polygons. It's a little bit hard to see. I'm gonna extrude these like this and pull them up like so. So basically, okay, as you can see, I went a little bit off here, so let's fix that. Select this guy, and pressing B and middle mouse drag on this object. With the move tool selected, pressing B and middle mouse drag will activate my soft selection. So I'm just gonna let's see, just gonna do something like this maybe. Like so. Let me activate the symmetry. So I'm gonna choose World X. So let's see. This is gonna be. Let me see why this guy moves so fast. Kind of like this, and I'm gonna grab this guy, bring it inside here, and this guy bring it inside there, maybe something like this, and this should probably be enough. Let me see. Actually, kind of want this guy to be a little bit more open. So with the polylook selected, I'm just gonna maybe open it up a little bit like that, something like so, and maybe I can just, no, maybe not, that's fine, should be okay. Okay, so actually I've got a better idea. What I'm gonna do, I'm going to separate this piece here into a different object. So I'm just gonna select this poly loop here, and I'm going to delete the rest of the body. And what I'm gonna do also, I'm going to create a border. So I'm gonna click on bevel. No, I'm gonna click on extrude, sorry. And I'm gonna extrude this guy a little bit like this. And when you extrude like that, the polygons have flipped normals like this. I'm gonna select this object and reverse the normals so now it looks correct. And also I'm gonna add a couple of loops. So I don't need the bottom because I'm gonna delete this, because this mesh is gonna go inside my body. So I'm just gonna click connect here, and I'm gonna select the inside loop, and I'm going to, let's see, I'm gonna add a couple of loops like that, and then I'm going to, using the pinch, I'm gonna move them closer to the border like this. This way, when I subdivide it, it's gonna look sharp like so. And alright, so I'm gonna export this new part. So export selection. This is gonna be the color. call this color, and I'm gonna re-export the head with the extended faces like this. I'm gonna press G, and this is gonna be head retopo. I'm gonna call it. No, I'm just gonna call it head retopo. That's fine. I'm gonna override this. It's not a problem. And now let's go back to ZBrush and let's see what we can do there. Alright, back to ZBrush. I just realized though that I cannot actually import the head that I did on top of this one, because since the topology is different, ZBrush will what it will do, it will basically just try to automatically reproject these details into the new topology. However, I'm pretty sure that things like the mouth and the nose will not be reprojected correctly. So what I'm gonna do instead, I'm going to append the new head as a new object. So import and click on head retopo. And so with this selected, this does not have any high poly detail yet, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna do a manual reprojection. So I'm gonna first go to geometry, crease, and I'm gonna crease this guy, and now just subdivide it a bunch of times, something like that. And I'm gonna go to morph target and store morph target. And now I'm going to hide everything except my head with the head that has the detail. And I'm going to, okay, the height is active, and I'm going to project with 0.01 and project this detail. Let's see what we got. Alright, so I did a pretty good job, and now all the details are projected correctly, and I just have to smooth out the base of the neck. Actually, let me activate symmetry by pressing X. So I just need to smooth out these details here, or maybe I can just, let's see, if I go to my morph brush, which is actually already here. Let's see if I can get, no, not really. Alright, I'm just gonna smooth this guy until this line disappear. So let's smooth like so, and smooth like so. As you can see, ZBrush did a pretty good job of projecting the previous details into the new mesh. Alright, this should be enough. So now I've extended the neck, and what I'm gonna do, I'm going to basically move this guy on top of my body. So I'm gonna select this and the body, and let me uncheck. This is the old head, and I'm gonna move these guys on top. So actually I have to do the opposite. First select my head and then uncheck the body. And I can also click on transparency to make the other object half transparent. Actually what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring the body here inside the head. So select this guy and bring it inside with the move brush. So something like this. Just gonna move these polygons inside so that only the new mesh, the extended mesh, will be visible, like so. Something like that. And now I imported my color like that, and I'm going to deform the color. I'm gonna bring it down to, I'm gonna activate symmetry. I'm gonna bring it down into my body like this. So I'm gonna do this all around the neck and make sure that that's not gonna interfere with the existing geometry. So I'm just gonna bring it down like so. Something like that. And then keep continuing importing down the border like that. Maybe I'm gonna select the head transparency. I'm just gonna bring this guy, oops, not this head, but this head. And I'm gonna bring this guy down a little bit as well. Something like so. So when I go back to my color, it should not be in the way. So something like this. Now I'm gonna just bring down this color a little bit, like so. Something like that for now. Alright. Should be okay. And let me fix real quick this part here. Something like so. Alright. Something like that. And now let's move up. Let's just subdivide this guy a bunch of times so that it becomes nice and smooth. And I'm gonna do the same for the body. I'm gonna bring up my subdivision level, and I'm gonna do the same for the head. Bring up my subdivision level, and now I'm gonna adjust further the color to be inside the mesh, but also to be nice and round. So something like that, maybe. Like so. And then maybe smooth out a little bit. So something like that, and maybe bring this guy inside a little bit more. Something like that. Okay, that should do. Like so. So now I got my new color that goes in outside, has the thickness, and I've also extended the skin of the character, and you can't really see any of the border. Maybe let's just bring this guy a little bit more inside, like that. Something perhaps like that. That will do. Like that. And now maybe let's go to deformation. And let's smooth and repeat active just to get this guy nice and smooth, like so. So just keep smoothing. Alright, that looks pretty good. And okay, so I think that's it. So let's activate all our pieces like this. The belt, like that, the body, and the mask. Okay, let's go here and click all high, so this will switch all the subtools to the highest subdivision version. And so, alright, and now we pretty much finished the complete retopology of the entire character. And just for clarity, so click on quick save. Now what I'm gonna do, I want to clean up this scene a little bit, so I'm going to delete everything that it's not needed. So to do that, there's an automatic way. Basically, since we have only the only the object that I want to keep there checked with the eye icon, so now I can go to ZScript, or actually ZPlugin, and from Subtool Master I can just click delete invisible. Now before doing that, I'm gonna do a quick save, because this is an undoable operation. So I'm gonna click delete invisible, and ZBrush is gonna warn me that this is not undoable, so I'm gonna click OK for each of the hidden object. Okay, and now we are left with only our new with more recent mesh. And now I can go to select the glove and click on mirror and append as new subtool, so it will mirror the other side, including all the subdivision level, and do the same with the boot. Go to Z plugin, subtool master, and mirror, and click OK. So now we have our final character. It's completely with new topology. So as you can see, every subtool is the one that we went through and create new topology for. If I go down here to geometry and click subtools and all low, everything will be switched to their lowest resolution version, like this. And actually I can go here, and even if you don't see this problem in the highest resolution version, I'm just gonna quickly move this guy a little bit inside like that, and do the same here with the boot, just to have something a little bit more clean, like so, and something like that. And if I go back to, let's see, let's check here, that seems okay, maybe just this guy there. And now if I go back to the highest resolution version, clicking all high, as you can see, everything is nice and clean, and we can do a best preview render. This will get rid of the anti-aliasing and create some shadow, which looks pretty good. And I think I'm gonna end this video here. So in the next video I will go through and show you how to do the UV for our characters, and I will explain what UV coordinates are in the next video, and so stay tuned for more. And I know that every person on YouTube say this at the end of their videos, but since my channel is brand new and I have very few subscribers, which I want to thank because that's pretty awesome that already some people decided to subscribe to my channel, even if I don't have much content yet. So I really would like to say, if you're watching this video and you enjoy what I'm doing, you like what I'm doing, and you want to help me, please click on that subscribe button and leave a like, because this will help me a lot growing this channel. I have a lot of content planned, so please stay tuned and see you in the next video.